What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. I am here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Monday, July 6th, 2026. My name is Chris Drummond. I am a freelance sports reporter based out of upstate New York here and proprietor of this podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder, where I bring individuals on to talk about their why and get to know them outside of their occupation. I got a very special guest that's on with me today. He is the social media manager for the Rochester Red Wings, which is an affiliate of the Washington Nationals. So they're the AAA baseball team out here in Rochester, New York. That's how this man and myself have connected, as I cover the Red Wings as well. His name is John Robinson IV. And we're going to talk to him about his why of being a social media manager, but also getting into sports. He has a background as a reporter covering my beloved Lakers team, which I love my Lakers. He also has a background in doing a director of brand partnerships as well. And he has a background in obviously being a student athlete in college, where he played college football for the University of Connecticut, go Huskies, but he also played for Tennessee State University as well. So, without any further ado, I introduce you, my man, John Robinson IV. Welcome to the podcast, brother. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me. It's an honor, and I'm excited to get into this conversation, man.
Yes, sir. I'm excited to have you on here. No doubt, no doubt. We're going to have a good time tonight, baby, as I do with all my guests here on the platform. But the first question is the same as it always is with everybody that hops on this thing, baby. And that is, what is your why? Why do you do what you do? Did you have any role models or any inspirations maybe growing up? But ultimately, what is your why for wanting to get into sports and social media?
I could say like my why would be like obviously like my mom, my family. I obviously want to be able to put them in positions to be successful in their future. I'm very family oriented. As you know, Chris, my younger brother works a part of the grounds crew for the Rochester Red Wings, and so family
Yeah.
is important to me. And I really care about my legacy, in our family background, and so I want to be able to set up that legacy to be prepared for generations, and I think it's important to have pride in that. But truthfully, my why is really myself. I want to be able to prove myself right in a lot of things.
Right.
I came into the sports media space kind of just winging it at first. I spent a lot of my college career focusing a lot of my time with football, and if anybody who's played, a collegiate sport, especially at the Division 1 level, you
Right.
know that you don't really have the opportunities to seek out like internships and do anything extracurricular, especially when you're playing football, because you train pretty much calendar year. You have to go
Right.
to summer school, you have summer workouts, you have spring ball, and so it's really hard to balance the demand of playing at that level and still trying to navigate what you want to do in the outside world. And it's kind of why a lot of guys who I don't want to say believe it to just men, but a lot of athletes, period, men and women, find themselves, at a crossroads when it's all said and done, because you pour so much time into this sport, and it becomes a passion. It really becomes like a lot of things for us. Athletes don't talk about it, but their mood is very much predicated on how they're performing in their athlete. It consumes a lot of who you are.
1000%.
Yeah, it consumes a lot of who you are, and so because of that, you don't really maybe spend the time to think about like what's past the horizon of this sport. It becomes so embedded into your identity, and I think I was just lucky that I kind of always knew what I was interested in post my playing career. Like I always knew I wanted to work in sports. I wouldn't even say like social media is like my last stop. I spent my career, and as you know, Chris, I've done a lot of different things in this space, and
Yeah.
so you
Yeah.
know, social media is just kind of part of what type of multifaceted person I am in this space. I can do brand partnerships, I can do social media, I can be on air. Like my dream getting into sports media was like, how can I get on the first take table to sit next to Stephen A. Smith and discuss sports? Like my ultimate dream is to be a sports analyst one day. Really being on TV, being on a
Yeah.
major platform, really conducting myself, talking about basketball, football, baseball, whatever that leads me to. And
No
so
doubt.
I think when I was finished playing football, I just kind of went for a Hail Mary, man. I worked for Minute Media covering esports for along for a minute. Anything from League of Legends to Call of Duty, Pokemon, whatever was popular at the time. And of course, now we're in this digital age with streaming and stuff. And so esports is bigger than it's ever been. And then I
Yeah.
took on an internship out in Australia, covering the Canberra Capitals, a part of the WNBL, and as a sports media intern. And that experience in itself kind of, set the platform, or I guess the foundation for, how I pivoted the rest of the way of my career. But I think one of the best traits that I was able to develop is, I'm okay, jumping out the parachute, jumping out the airplane, no parachute, and just kind of betting on myself and not really being afraid of, is this going to work? Is this not going to work? I'm just driven by my own ambition. And so, I'd say my biggest why is, just not allowing myself to fail, and just
Mm.
reaching the height that I think I have. I think I have a lot of potential. I think I have a lot to offer. And I want to be able to just see how far I can take it for myself.
No question. I mean, listen, the the biggest risk is always betting on yourself.
Yeah.
And I definitely know that being a freelancer myself, when you're a freelancer, you're always betting on yourself. You're calling people, you're trying to call people and book things and trying to get contracted because that's how you make your bread. That's how you make your money, right? So betting on yourself is definitely something that is very relatable to that. And anybody that's been around you, JR, they know how hard you work, how hard your people under you work, how passionate you are about sports. Even just talking to you and having the conversations with you, they know that for sure. I wanna get into the two schools that we mentioned before,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And the two schools is the University of Connecticut and also Tennessee State University. Now,
Yeah.
mind you, you from Jersey, okay? You are from Jersey. If I'm not mistaken, you went to is it Dwight, the high
Yeah.
school?
So Dwight Morrow High School
Yeah,
Academy.
Dwight Mall.
Yeah. So it's like, I went to the pretty much just a quick explanation.
Hmm.
My school, my Dwight Morrow High School, also hosts a charter school called the Academies at Inglewood, which is like an honors academy where the high school students kind of have like a major, but
Yeah,
we all share athletics under Dwight Morrow. So
right.
it's just one huge campus. But I'm originally from Inglewood, so a lot of people that went to Dwight Morrow, I went to all my elementary, middle school with, and then the kids from all over the Bergen County, New Jersey area went to the academies at Inglewood, along with some of the students from Inglewood. So I had a very diverse circle of friends from my high school experience.
I love it. I love it. Now, I want to know what made you choose the University of UConn, and did you have any other schools in mind
Yeah,
prior to going to UConn? And then what made you transfer? Because UConn and Tennessee, that's two ends of the spectrum. We talking Northeast and Southeast. Okay,
yeah.
so what made you want to go to TSU and transfer there?
Well, I picked UConn because at the time, I was kind of a late bloomer, Chris. If I'll be honest with you, like my first
Mhm.
2 years of high school football, I broke my collarbone my freshman year, and I broke my hand my sophomore year.
Wow.
So going into my junior year of high school, I really didn't have any tape. I had a massive growth spurt. I went from like 5'8" to like 6'1" over the course of a summer. And going into my junior year, so that sophomore summer heading into junior year, I
Hmm.
just I was all over the camp circuit. And I remember my first camp, my head football coach was like, because at the time I was playing like athlete for my high school. I was playing everything. I played receiver, quarterback, both defensive back position, safety, and corner. So and at the time I also was hurt 2 years, so really didn't know what I was going to, like, where my I guess I'd say like what my body and skill set was going to like mature in position wise.
For
So my
sure.
my head football coach was like, go to this camp and play corner. First time playing corner at the camp, and I won MVP of the defensive back. And
Mm.
from that point on, it was history from there. I went to a bunch of camps over that summer, and by the time I hadn't even played Chris haven't played a varsity snap yet,
Right.
and had a bunch of collegiate interests. And then I get through my junior year. I lead the team in interceptions, one of the top corners in the state. I think I was ranked like in the 20s, no, low 20s, high 30s in the state. I think I was a top 100 corner in the country, at
Yeah.
least top 120 for sure. And you know, School started to roll in. Nothing too major. Like I was like UConn, Syracuse, Temple, a lot of the Northeast schools, Albany, I had a lot of the Ivy Leagues from Brown to Penn.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I had a mix of everybody. And so when UConn offered me, they were my first 1A offer, and then I had some other 1As coming to the table later. But I
Mhm.
think I felt like the most comfortable going to UConn because my head coach at the time, Bob Diaco, was a new head coach. So I didn't really feel like I had to worry about him getting fired because my first year there would have been literally not even a full calendar year for him there. If maybe a year and a half, I could be mistaken, but it wouldn't have been a full 2 years of him having a job. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So there's a level of
Sure.
security there. He just won the assistant coach of the year trophy for his time at Notre Dame. He had Manti Te'o, who was a Heisman finalist at the time, so it seemed like a no-brainer. Um, and then, I had some really good friends and college teammates that were in that recruiting class that I'm still friends with to this day. And, we were really close for a recruiting class. Like, we felt like, I was going to this school with a bunch of my friends who I didn't know that well yet, but we were all kind of brothers through this, similar experience.
For
Um,
sure.
and so I think it was close too, man. Like I was almost going to decommit and go to Syracuse. Um,
Ah, okay.
Syracuse, coming out of high school, was really my number one school. I wanted to go to Syracuse the most out of any school. I knew I wanted to stay in the Northeast. I didn't want to be too far from home. I wanted to go somewhere where I was going to play, somewhere education was good. And I'm a Northeast kid. Like I'm from the Northeast. Like the four weathers, cold weather football. Syracuse played in the dome. Like it just made sense to me. And I really
Right.
did, shout out to Dino Babers and his class, and his coaching staff at the time. They did, ask me to come to Syracuse, had an offer for me on the table. And I just decided not to take that final official visit. And
Wow.
I was enamored with UConn, and I have no regrets. I ended up leaving just because we had a new coaching staff. A lot of my class ended up transferring out. I had gotten hurt my redshirt sophomore going into my redshirt junior year,
Wow.
and I had a MCL. Honest to God, I also got into a little bit of trouble.
Mm.
Learning experience, just a little boneheaded, something that was very out of character for me. And I really felt like not that I soured the opinion of me in the locker room because I think a lot of guys knew what type of guy I am. I think even a high character guy can sometimes mess up.
For sure.
It's how you respond to those moments of adversity will decide the type of person that you are. And I just wanted a chance to still play. I didn't want to find myself in a situation where I've like sullied my, just my cachet with the team. And so I moved on to Tennessee State. Shout out to Gary Fisher for bringing me there. It was an awesome experience. Like, not a lot of times can you say that you had the experience of going to a PWI and going to a historically black university. Um,
Yeah.
I, I think that experience was one of the greatest things that could have happened to me. Especially navigating corporate America, having confidence in my blackness, especially when you're in spaces where you're usually the only black person in a lot of the rooms that you're in. And
Hello.
we live in a world where, you black people are told we have this word called code switching. And I absolutely hate it because it's a word that to me, if you don't talk if you talk like hip hop or street, that's what people think the default settings of the black voice is. And so I think that is kind of disingenuous because black people are from all over this country, not just hoods. They live in all types of neighborhoods, and yes, we have hip hop music and we have our culture and our entertainment and our food, but that doesn't mean we can't navigate a corporate office and navigate against our fellow peers and have to suppress maybe some of our culture to make those around us feel a level of comfort. And so going to an HBCU definitely gave me like that pat on the butt, so to say, of like that overwhelming confidence of like not really trying to be someone that I'm not because I want somebody else to feel comfortable around me, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
And I think
Perfect sense.
as you know about how I navigate myself in the press box and with the Red Wings, I'm myself. And people like me for it. And I don't turn myself down to appease anybody's insecurities because I was made in this image, and I love the way I am, and I love who I am, and I love the people that have made me, and I love the people who came before me, and so um, I'm gonna wear that with pride.
As you should. And
Yeah,
well said, brother. Well said. And a lot of the times, a lot of people are kind of afraid to do that because they do appease
yeah,
to people. They don't want to stand out. Standing out is not the cool thing. Stand out is not the normal thing. And in this industry, being authentic is the number one thing in my opinion. When you're authentic and you're real, people respect you for that.
yeah,
But when you're also authentic, it does rub some people the wrong way.
yeah,
But you got to have enough or I should say, enough big shoulders to be able to
yeah,
handle
yeah,
that kind of burden on you. On you, you know what I'm saying? So I love what you said for that, and I do appreciate that. I also love the fact that you went from UConn to a historically black school in Tennessee
yeah,
State University, because the Northeast is one way. It's getting out of your comfort zone, right? Because this is where you grew up. You grew up in the Northeast, in Jersey, and UConn, and Syracuse. Talk about those schools. Going to the South, a little bit
mm,
different in the South. I know that for sure because I went to school in the South, so I
yeah.
definitely know how that is.
Mm.
No question about it. But I love the fact you made that transition. Were you there when Eddie George took over the helm, or was
No,
that was that after the fact?
I was literally the coaching staff prior to Eddie George getting there. I had A
Got
stat.
you,
Yeah.
got you. Okay, say
Eddie
less.
George, shout out to the things he was able to do for the program. I think he's at Bowling Green now,
Hmm.
but he definitely put a new life into the program there, and it's awesome that he kind of came back to Tennessee and to his roots to get that done. It's an awesome story.
No question about that. I love that. I love that. All right, Jr. We are going to ask some favorite questions, and you just give me the 411 off the rip based upon these favorite questions. Okay, so here we go. Let's rock. Favorite meal you like to cook?
Anytime you could put a steak in front of me, man, I'm just steak and French fries, bro. That's all I need. If I get a nice steak and some fries, that is a meal. That is the best meal I could get. Seriously.
Okay,
Medium,
okay. I'm rocking with you on that, baby. I'm
yeah.
rocking with you. Now, how do you
Medium,
like your steak?
medium, medium. Because I'm not a
Okay.
well done guy. I like it medium. Closer to medium rare, man. I think steak is like wine, man. You got to treat it right. You got to treat it right.
Boy, you ain't never lied on that. I'm just saying, I'm trying to tell you, you ain't never lied on that. I'm the
Yeah.
same way, baby. I don't mind it bleeding a little bit, not a
Yeah,
lot, but
not a
let
lot.
it bleed.
Yeah, let it bleed a
Yeah.
little bit. Listen, I'm still trying to convince my little brother. He's still like it well done, and I'm still
Oh
trying to
no.
convince him. We gotta. Little do he know when I cook, I still get a little lighter for him. I don't like, he want to eat a piece of jerky. I'm trying to tell him like, mm-mm.
Yeah, no, no, no. No, that ain't the way to go no more. Cause then you gotta lather it up in sauce. When you do it
Yeah,
medium rare, you ain't gotta lather it up, baby. It's no sauce needed on stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
it's like butter, man. Seriously.
Hello, I'm with you on that. Steak and fries. I'm with you on that. Okay, here we go. Favorite concert you've ever attended?
Actually, I went to go see Drake. When he had his dual album with 21 Savage.
Yeah.
Probably the best concert. But I did go see Kanye West Yeezus concert. That was awesome too. It was like a full blown like Broadway production. So between those two concerts, easily.
I'm gonna say I'm even taking a little back further from with Ye's concert, and I'm gonna say the Watch the Throne when he did Jay-Z and Ye, because
Mm,
they also had on that same concert they had Jeezy and Trey Songz on the
yes,
undercard.
yes.
That that was popping. Like I
Mm.
saw that concert in Atlanta. I was like, yo, that was
And
popping,
you saw
yo.
it in the
It was
best place.
great.
You saw it in Atlanta. Like you saw it in a great city.
No doubt. No doubt about it, baby. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Now, favorite place you've ever traveled to?
I've traveled a lot, Chris. I've been to Europe. I've been all
Yes, you
over.
have.
I'd probably say best place I've ever visited is between two.
Okay.
So I've been to I've been up into the mountains of Muskoka in Canada.
Say what?
Muskoka. It's like the mountain. It's like the lakeside mountains up in like North Ontario, up in Canada. It's
Wow.
absolutely beautiful.
Okay.
Uh, and then I'd probably also say like you know I was along like the Sydney coast for New Year's when I was up in Australia, and it was best one of the best experiences and one of the best places I've ever been. Like I'm to this day trying to get back to Australia for whatever reason I can.
Okay. Now, mind you, I may have to ask you for some recs on that because Australia is definitely on the bucket list for me to go. I've never been.
I've been all over the continent, and obviously, like a lot of the best places are along the coast of Australia because if you the deeper you go, the more of the dangerous animals and stuff. So
Yeah,
it's a lot
yeah.
of it's on the outskirts, but like Melbourne and the coast of Sydney, um, absolutely electric. And then if I would give somewhere in the states a honorable mention, because there's a lot of great places in the states, I'm a big Arizona fan. I think the state is awesome. I know it is really hot there, but from Scottsdale and Phoenix to
Oh yeah.
you know uh, everything
Tucson.
Tucson. I love Scorpion Bay. I love the
Yeah,
lazy
that's a
river
sleeper.
there.
Yeah.
Um, you know, Sedona. I mean, I think Arizona is very underrated. I would definitely tell anybody to get out to Arizona.
No question about that. I love that. I'm gonna give another shout out for the states before I move on to the next question. New Orleans, and Louisiana. Louisiana, the state, but New Orleans, the city. Went there for the Super Bowl when the Eagles and Chiefs played there. Had a chance to cover that. That was epic. No question about it. The food there, y'all beignets was off the chain. The alligator, the gumbo, the jambalaya, off the chain. Cannot wait to go back to New Orleans and try some of that good food. No question. Down in New Orleans. We're sports people, JR. So I'm gonna ask you a two-part sports question. Favorite sport you like to watch on TV, favorite sport you like to attend in person. They could be the same sport.
Ain't nothing like a football game. I know we in World Cup, American football, okay?
All
Ain't nothing.
right.
I'm sorry, ain't nothing like it. College, NFL, like edge of your seat. The one thing I love about college is like in college, because of like the playoffs and how things are set up, of every game feel like a playoff game for a team that's
No doubt.
contending for a championship. Because now we're in a situation you lose 2 games, depending on them 2 losses, your playoff hopes might be up in smoke. And so every game feels like so much pressure. And then obviously you know how exciting the NFL is, man. Like I'm a
Oh
diehard Jets
yes.
fan through and through. Better days to come, and
Ooh.
but I will
Yeah.
admit, watching the Knicks win the finals, man,
I know it.
still in my heart. But I'd probably say a football game for sure for both.
Okay, okay, I'm with you on that. Now I'm a huge football fan. JR, we're gonna have to go to one of these events. I don't care if it's a Bills, I don't care if it's Syracuse, I don't care what it is. I'm a huge football guy as well, college and NFL. Yes, basketball is probably my number one. Football is a close, very close
Yeah,
number two. No
yeah.
question. But we don't have no basketball up here, so football kind of usurps that a little
But,
bit.
Buffalo, you go to some UB games, a few Syracuse games.
I'm trying to tell you, yes, and I'll be covering some Buffalo games, some UB
Oh, shit.
Buffalo games.
Oh, awesome,
Yes,
awesome.
for sure. I'll be definitely doing that, but definitely the Syracuse. I would love to attend that as a fan because, man, Syracuse football they play some great opponents and great teams. So I definitely want to get into that dome and be able to watch them play. And college football is always a great atmosphere,
Yeah.
especially down there in Syracuse for sure, no question. So I'm with you on that, no doubt. Last of the favorites. Favorite place you like to go out and eat at? I'm a huge foodie. I know you a huge foodie too. Talk to me.
Well, since I live in Rochester, I feel like I gotta say somewhere in Rochester. I can't throw some place that you know that's not where I'm currently living. I feel like I got to shout out to where I live. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
And I feel like because I have not answered your question with just one, and I apologize for that.
You
Because
good?
it's another one where I'm split between two places again.
Okay. Talk to
There's a
me.
restaurant called Good Luck. Might be the best burger I've ever had. Best burger, best Cobb salad ever had. And then there's this Italian restaurant called Vern's right on my street. I live on Park Avenue here in Rochester, one of the most prominent streets in the city.
It
Great
is.
for food, dining, restaurant, bar, sports, whatever you're looking for is on this. Nails, ice cream, the gas station, yoga. If you're looking for it, it's on this block. And so it has this restaurant called Vern's, one of the best veal cutlets I've ever had in my life. One of just the best meals you could ever have. Seriously.
I definitely have heard of Burns. I've never been there, but I have heard of Burns. I definitely know what you're talking about with Good Luck. No
Yeah.
question about that. I know what you're talking about with Good Luck, baby. I
Yeah.
do. Park
Yeah.
Ave is a popping spot for a plethora of reasons, ladies and
Right.
gentlemen. He talking about food and the scenery is good too. No question about that.
Yeah.
Okay. And but I also love Blue Wolf. Blue Wolf is on that same street.
Yeah.
Blue Wolf Bistro. And then I do love some of the bars that's over there too. I got to get back over there, man. I got to get back over there at
Let
some
me
point.
know. I'm over here. Let me know, man.
You know I will. You know I will hit you up, no doubt about that. We
My
definitely gonna go out and do some
favorite
things.
place to catch a game out here is between Parlays Inn and Magpie. Those are my two places.
You know, I was gonna ask you about parlays because I'm like, yo, do they do? Because I haven't been there. Do they do pool? Do they do darts?
So actually, they do darts. They have like ski basketball. You know what I'm saying?
What?
They have like a digital like they have digital beer pong. And then it's really cool because they have like the garage, so it opens up, and so there's a patio area. They do live music some nights. They have a jukebox so you can switch through the music. It's really cool too because across the street on the same lot, on the same side of the street that they on, the restaurant is like their sister, so that's like their kitchen. So you can order some wings. They come right, bring it right over to you. Wings are really good. Obviously I'm gonna say Buffalo wings because we're in upstate New York. So
Right, right. I'm with you. I'm with you. Okay, we
if
definitely doing
if
something
you're
like
going to
that,
watch
dog.
sports, if you're going to watch sports in Rochester, I feel like there's three places you gotta go. Shout out
Okay.
to Magpie. Shout out to my dog Kenzie, best bartender in the city. Um, I'm going Parlays in. Shout out to my guys over there at Parlays. And then if you want like the best wing experience with sports, especially if you're a Bills fan, Bar Bill out in Webster. Best place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We're touching all three. There's no question about that. Touching all three of them for sure. No doubt. I like that. All right. Let's get into your day to day um work operations of what you do. Now, obviously, I've seen you at work, but I want you to kind of express it, right? As a journalist, my day, no 2 days are ever the same, right? I'm making calls, I'm making pitches, I'm covering different teams, whether the season's going on, right? I do Amherst, Nighthawks, and the Red Wings now out here, but I also do colleges. Going to be doing St. John Fisher, going to be doing U of R, going to be doing UB, all different kind of colleges coming up covering their sports. However, for somebody like a social media manager like yourself, you're perusing social media, right? There's TikTok, there's Instagram, there's X, there's LinkedIn, there's other sites that's going on, right? And you're looking through for fans, you're looking through for the games, the players, the questions, and stuff that you got to ask, right? Talk to me about your day-to-day operations of how long do you a normal social media person has to work? What's the difference between working at home and then when the team is on the road? What are you doing at work? Stuff like that.
Um, I'm gonna say this: if you work in social media, you really don't get a real day off. Just because, just because there's always somebody who needs something. And I'm not saying that like a negative way. It's just more the fact that like because social media is this ever moving thing. Regardless of if you're taking a day off or not, there's always stuff that has to go out. You have sponsors. My average day is a little chaotic because the first thing I got to do is like I almost got to set the table for my social media calendar. So that means what sponsors have, what sponsors have you know, a deal with us. What's their expectation deliverables for that deal? How many
Hmm.
posts do they get throughout the season? And
Right.
what features may they have? Things like that. And so I got to look at a big board, put that together. Then I got to make sure I have my interns organized. I have about 7 interns. Shout out to my interns; they work really hard. Absolute kick-ass group of women.
They are
You know,
amazing, no
they
question.
are awesome. And I just feel like watching them grow over the course of the summer has been humbling. It has turned me into a better leader. I've had to work on not really my patience in like the bad way, but just like you know I definitely have learned that I can't see for them. They have to be able to see it too, because
Right.
that is going to make them better. And I
Right.
think the best way, like I have this slogan, a previous boss said this to me and it's just stuck with me forever. Don't ask for permission, ask for forgiveness. Go and create, be the best version of yourself and we'll look it over later. You know what I'm saying? But, they the youth, that Gen Z, as one of the first year of Gen Z myself. We run the internet. We run the trends. We set those tones, and so
Right.
yeah, I want my interns to have the confidence to be able to emulate those things through our social media. And then the next part about it is being a connector. Like, the biggest thing I wanted when I got this role is I wanted everybody to be able to see themselves in the Rochester Red Wings. I wanted I wanted that single mother with 3 kids who hasn't been able to get to a baseball game all year to be able to see herself in the Red Wings, where she comes in on Sunday because it's kids run the
Right.
bases, and you know there is this content that has some level of relatability to her, and there's this content that has relatability to my dog lovers and to my anime lovers and to Hispanic people and to Black people and to our LGBTQ plus community. We want everybody to feel seen on the Rochester Red Wings social media accounts. And so, one thing you do that is, what are you displaying on, those things that are static, like your websites and things like that. And so, we had a complete rehaul of how I did our merchandise and how we were going to portray it digitally. And so how we did that
Right.
was we took inspiration from Base and Gap and Nike and all these big brands that do clothing, and we incorporated that with the Red Wings. And so we took our merchandise and then we put on an absolute diverse group of models. And shout out to
Okay.
Jemison, one of the best creative minds in this area. Could not have done this without her and her ability to just be a connector to me and the models. I had the platform, but she had the blueprint that I was looking for, and she was able to kind of take my idea and magnify it. And
Right.
I'm always in debt to her because just that those photo shoots that we have done
Hmm.
big waves in how people are connecting to the Rochester Red Wings because they're seeing
I love
themselves
that.
in these spaces. And so it's not just about ethnicities and races, but I'm also looking at age groups and demographics. Like,
Hmm.
what my TikTok people want to see, how my older crowd is more into this on Facebook, but my younger
Yep.
crowd on TikTok and Instagram, and more of our informational stuff should go out on Twitter because Twitter is more like the news, but Twitter is also very punchy and funny. It's great for memes and things like that. So, you know, my overall way I attack social is take care of our sponsors and promotions first, and then take care of the people second. And even though the people come first, because even with these sponsors, these things are going to the people first. But I'm talking about on a day to day. Let's knock out the tedious. Let's knock out the sponsors. Let's make sure they're accommodated for because they're bought
You're right.
into the business, and then let's make sure every person in the area is able to see themselves in the Rochester Red Wings.
I like that. I like that. And you mentioned it before. You have a team of 7,
Yep.
all ladies on your team. Now, obviously, me being in sports, and I've been in this sports thing doing journalism for the past 9 years, at the combination of Atlanta, Minnesota, and now upstate New York. You don't see a lot of women in sports.
Right.
And mind you, when we're the media, when we go cover the games, you don't
Yep.
you don't see no women media at
That's right.
all. Now you do see women that work within the Red Wings, but how conscientious of you when you brought these interns on that
Mhm.
you wanted to not just highlight, just maybe women in sports, but also get the best intern possible that you can. And trust me, y'all, all 7 of them, I've met them. They're great at what they do. No question about that. JR got quite the team. But talk to me about how important that was.
Well, honestly, I'd almost argue more women are working in social media spaces for sports team than there are men.
Okay.
Me having a team of interns that was all women was not actually by design.
Okay.
I only had like two. I had like 2 guys, men, actually apply for my internship, and
Wow.
only and both of them actually just ended up not seeing the internship through. They were actually offered the role. And I really tried to have as diverse of a group of interns as possible. Like I went to Monroe Community College. I left my business card and notes in like the lunchrooms and on bulletin boards for people to apply for this internship. I reached out to
Yeah.
different coordinators, guidance counselors across different universities in the area. To put the internship out there. I am I believe that as long as you are able to, as long as you're going to work hard, I am open to everybody being a part of this. It's just
I love it.
it just happened to be that I had more women than had legitimately 98% of women apply for my internship.
Hmm.
Um, and so, having to pick that seven out of, I had a number of candidates. It was a long deliberation process. And so, those seven, they're just they're awesome. And so, they're to me were like no brainers to bring on board, and they've attacked this internship well, and they work. Excuse me, work. They participate in some long hours, but it's a great experience for them, and it's just because it's baseball. A game could be 2 hours, a game could be five. So you're kind of
Could
at the
be.
mercy. You're at the mercy of the sport, but I think it's a great learning experience for them, especially being a part of a professional organization. I think it's great to put on a resume, and they'll have a portfolio of content to take with them as they progress through their college careers.
I love that. I do. And it's a great segue, right, JR? Great segue because this next question has to do with mental health
Yeah,
and work life balance. And the reason why I want to ask this question is because a lot of people deal with mental health in a plethora of ways.
yeah,
I've seen many journalists that have stepped away from the industry because their mental health was affected. I've seen many people step away because of work life balance. It's just especially when you're working in sports. Sports sometimes are long seasons. Baseball typically is a long season. Red Wings play 150 games a year. That's 75 at home, 75 on the road, right? That's a lot of home games. Baseball, MLB plays 162. But
yeah,
these sports are just long. And sports are typically nights and weekends, right? And they carry through also on holidays. They carry through on the weekends.
yeah,
So it's not a regular business type of schedule. And even for yourself, right? You work long hours as well.
yeah.
Talk to me about how you keep your mental health strong and work life balance because obviously you're a pretty cool cat, and I certainly wouldn't mind hanging out with you at all. And I think your friends and family feel the same way about you, fam. But you are dedicated, a very dedicated person. Anybody who's been around you knows that you are about your business when it comes to working. So tell me, how do you continue to do this job and not feel burnt out or overwhelmed?
Um, you know, I think for me, I've had some real humbling experiences in my career. I've had some doors shut in my face. And so I think for me, I just know how blessed I am to be in the positions that I'm in. And I also know that I've worked really hard to get where I've gotten to. And I
Hmm.
know like um, I know the work that I've put in. I know the sacrifice, and I know the days where like, Chris, before I got to the Red Wings and before I got to LA, like there were some days where I had to look myself in the mirror and be like, can I do it in this space? Like, am I going to make it? And
Right. Am I good enough?
yeah. And so, you know, shout out to my career in athletics, because of that, I was 100% able to stay competitive. Like I'm competitive, Chris. Like I want to win. Like I think that's the true nature of this whole beast. Is like I don't look at my career as just like I'm just trying to get up to the career ladder. Like I'm trying to win. Like I look at the Red Wing social media platforms and I compare us to the rest of the social media platforms across minor league baseball because you know I want to see what other people are doing because I want us to be the best versions of ourselves that we could be.
For
Um,
sure.
and so that just I'm just relentless, man. I have people who rely on me. I have my mom, my grandparents, my little brother. All my younger siblings. I got a little brother that is with me every day. Clocks in with me with the Red Wings. Goes. He has to see me set an example, and so there's just people that I can't let down. And I'm damn sure not gonna let myself down. And so there's people with bigger issues than me.
Right.
Me having to go to work. Yeah, sometimes we had a 2 week homestand. That's about 13 days worth of baseball. 12, 13 days worth of baseball. But
That is.
you know, I've I've had family members who have lost their lives. I've seen friends become sick. I've seen people be in way worse situations than me. Um, and so because of that, I'm not I'm not in a place where I'm looking to com- you know, I just got to turn the wheel. I feel like maybe it's kind of cliche to say there's no room for to complain or anything like that, but it's not that I want to complain or say like this is the things that I'd rather do or this and that. It's like,
Right.
I think about this work life balance when maybe I have like kids and I'm married. When I'm married and I have kids, maybe I have to dive more into that. But right now, where I'm at in my life, you know, only thing I got really to worry about right now is my career, and my career is fun. I still want to elevate. Like there's new peaks that I want to get to, so that's important for me.
No, I love that. Listen, it's not a easy question to ask, and I love that answer that you just gave. Very real, very transparent, very direct, and I respect it. Right, and like you said, there's family members that depend on you, and they look up to you, and they see you crumbling, and man, that aura, that type of persona that you're giving off, they might start to crumble too, right? And I totally understand that. I also understand the mindset of, yeah, even though you have tough days, because we all do, all of us have tough days, all of us get tough news, no question about it. But life still goes on. We still got to be strong. We still got to be, and not like trying to put on a front, but we just got to learn how to deal with that adversity and turn the adverse situation into a situation of positivity and overcome that, right?
Yeah,
Because, and not a lot of people can say, or I should say, not everyone can do that.
yeah,
People do struggle with that, and I totally get that. To each his own. I'm in the same pocket as you, dog. Like anytime that a rough situation comes, whether it's family, whether it's self-inflicted, whether it's friends, whatever situation it is, you think about it. It's in the back of your mind. You process it. It's like we always do. But then you have to continue to move forward and try to think of solution. My slogan that I live by is every problem has a solution, whether it's long term or short term. Every problem has a solution, whether it's long term or short term. And it might not be the best solution to you at that particular time, but it is a solution that's offered. Let's be realistic. Is this something that you want to go down, or do you want to keep thinking about a solution? Right. So I love that mindset of the mental health and the work life balance. I like that. I really do. It's another great segue though, Jr. And that's advice. What advice would you give somebody that wants to be in sports or would like to do the job that you're doing as a social media manager? And this is two part because I want you to also give advice to people for next season. If you're right, next season of being an intern, what's some advices you would give people that want to apply to be an intern?
so to answer your first part, I'd say anybody trying to get into sports media, I'll answer. If you're not a collegiate athlete and you are just a student going through, and you're in college, you have there's no business why you're not working for one of the sports teams at your school, because that is their foundation right there. And I think that's the part where, like, for a lot of the youth now, a lot of students now, sports, because of NIL, and if you go to any school across the country that is at least a Division 1 program,
Right.
you work for any of these schools as an intern, whatever, in their media space, that is more than a foundation for you right there. And then after that, when you go into the real world, don't turn anything down. Sports media isn't linear. This this space isn't linear. You have to be able to add as many tools to your toolbox as possible. I've done
No
on
doubt.
air, I've done production, I've done business partnerships, I've
Yeah.
done affiliate deals, I've done streaming, uh, I've done uh, articles. I mean, editorial. I mean, I've done it. I've literally done every part of this thing.
Hmm.
So because of that, it's like I've added so many skills that if any position rolled up into my face, is I can do it. I've added as many skills as I can, and do not be afraid to challenge yourself. You have to take risks. You know, if you're comfortable, I personally think if you're comfortable at this age and what you're doing, you're not maximizing it. Comfort, comfort is comfort can be killer to me because it brings complacency.
For
And
sure.
so Since I left for college at the University of Connecticut, I've not lived in New Jersey. I have not. None of the jobs that I've worked since going for college have been in New Jersey.
Right.
None. I've lived all over the country. I've lived in another continent. Um, I lived in L.A. Took a flyer on myself, moved to L.A., reset my whole career path. You know, one of the best experiences I could have had. It was hard, but I did it, and I have no regrets. I do it again.
For sure. For
You know,
sure.
and then
I
for my
love that.
interns, my thing about the interns is like, honestly, Chris, interns are interns. I have no expectations. All I ask of you is to come into this thing with an open mind and the willingness to not try to be the same person you were the day before.
Mm.
If you're willing to challenge yourself and get a little bit better every day, it's all I need from you. We'll teach you stuff along the way.
No, I love that.
Yeah,
I do.
never
And like I
expect
said,
anything.
I respect that.
Yeah,
And mind you, I've seen you in action. I've seen you kind of pull your interns to the side and congratulate them and talk to them, give them positive feedback. But I've also seen you coach them as well. I've also seen you do that as well. And that's what a good leader does. That's what a good leader does, man. So you definitely got the right mindset and the right tools to do that. And I love that advice of just not being afraid to challenge yourself. Comfort is a threat, is
definitely.
what I like to say. It's definitely a threat, no question. Because listen, people love to be comfortable. They do. They don't like to challenge themselves at times. And I feel like if you're not learning, you're dying, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah,
If you're not learning, you're dying.
yeah.
Um, and for me, I feel like that you never stop learning in life, whether it's learning about whatever occupation, whatever thing in your life that you're learning about, but you can always have your cup filled with education and knowledge from somebody else that may have more knowledge than you on whatever said topic it is. So I just feel like you never stop learning. So I love that. I love that process. We have reached the portion of the podcast, sir, now that we're going to play my interactive game, which is called This or That. It's a game I like to play with all my guests here on the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast, baby. And it is very simple. I'm going to throw some things at you, and you get to choose this or that. So, JR, are you ready?
Chris, I've been having fun, man. You got some good questions for me, man.
Here we
I'm,
go. Here we go.
that's good. That's
Let's
good.
rock with it, baby.
Let's do it.
Out of these two restaurants,
Okay.
which restaurant would you rather go in, sit down,
Okay.
and eat at?
Okay.
Texas Roadhouse or Longhorn Steakhouse?
Texas Roadhouse. That's easy.
Okay. Okay. So
Texas
you
Roadhouse.
like the rolls. You like the rolls with the
Bruh,
cinnamon on
bruh, I could eat those. Bro, I could just eat those. I could just eat those, bro. I could just eat those. Like, one of my interns had Texas Roadhouse rolls in the press box. You know how, remember when Squidward discovered the Krabby Patties? That could have been me. I said this one and I left her. I had to run away. I
it.
said,
Yeah.
let's go with the Krabby Patties, man. Them cinnamon rolls
Wow.
with that butter. Oh my goodness.
It changes your life. I'm telling you that right there. No
Yes.
doubt. No doubt. I'm with you on that. Okay. When it comes to chicken wings, which flavor of these two would you rather put on the wing?
Mm.
Barbecue or lemon pepper?
Lemon pepper.
Okay.
Lemon pepper.
Do you like your wings wet or dry?
I'm gonna say a nice dry rub, man.
Okay, okay. Do you like your wings bone in or boneless?
Bone in. I don't want those. I don't want those chicken nuggets we call boneless wings.
Everybody does, bro. Everybody calls them
Okay.
chicken nuggets, man.
Chicken
Now,
nuggets, bro.
do you dip your wings into like anything or do you just eat it with a dry rub?
It depends. Like like one of the best wing flavors I ever had is I had like this dill pickle dry rub out in Seattle.
Say
One of the,
what?
it was a dill pickle rub. It was like a dry seasoning.
Wow.
It's one of the best wing flavors I ever had. It was kind of like if you took like a obviously I had like the it had like the flavor of it had like the flavor of like obviously like pickle, but it also had like that kind of like salt and vinegar taste. It's like the dry
Oh
rub.
hell,
It's like
oh
very
hell
sweet.
no,
Like
oh no, Jr. What the hell?
I'm telling you, don't knock it till you try it. But then like if I have like I've had like a Louisiana rub, like a Cajun rub, that I might have with a little ranch or blue cheese, or if I have buffalo wings, I might have with some blue cheese. But if I have lemon pepper, I'm not using any. I don't need no dip.
I feel you. I feel you on that. Okay. All right. Well, listen, I rock with everything that you said until you said dill pickle. When you said them two words together,
I'm telling you,
boy, you on that boat.
knock it. Don't knock it, bro.
Oh,
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, you'll be
oh,
surprised, bro. You'll be surprised. I
oh,
was the first
okay.
person that tried it.
I never been to Seattle. I so maybe whenever I do go there, I'll have to try it. I have to try it at least and be like, Jr. I tried it. Okay, here we go. But I haven't tried it yet, so I'm not gonna knock it yet. So here
Don't
we
knock
go.
it yet. I promise you, because you're a wing guy like me, you're gonna like it. I swear.
Oh, for sure, 10,000%. Okay, here we go. These next four questions have to do with music concerts
Mhm.
you rather attend. Okay, so here we go. Out of these two artists, which music concert would you rather go to? Lil Wayne or J. Cole?
Well, I saw a video of Lil Wayne hanging out with Kyle Rittenhouse, so J. Cole. That's I'm with that.
Okay, okay, I'm with you on that. All right, here we go with the next one. Which music concert would you rather go to out of these two? Kendrick Lamar or Drake?
Iceman, baby, why are you so cold? Give me Drake, man.
Drizzy over K Dot?
Easily.
Wow. Okay, that is definitely a hot take.
That's hip hop artist of our generation, man. The numbers don't
Okay.
lie.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You know
We can't
what?
can't take it. We can't talk matters of opinions. We just talk
You
accolades.
talking accolades. I got you.
We just
Okay.
talk. Man, we
Okay.
just talk.
Listen, I like Drizzy too. I like Degrassi. I like Drizzy. I like Take Care. I like all that.
Yeah.
I like all that, brother. You know what I mean? I like K Dot too. But it's all good. That's all good. Here we go. Which music concert out of these two would you rather go see? Would you rather go see Chris Brown or Usher?
Damn. That's good. That's real good, actually.
Ooh, JR, you thinking right now, my boy.
Yeah, because like
This is tough. It's tough when I know it.
it's like what concert would I rather bring my lady to? You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
Usher giving out cherries, Chris Brown his body rolling. It's like
You gonna lose either way.
you lose either way. I'll probably go Chris. I'll probably go. I'll probably go Breezy.
Listen, my boy. If I was to bring a lady to the concert, I'm not taking her to no damn Usher concert. You ain't giving cherries, to my lady. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
the cherries. Yeah, yeah, Usher, not the cherries, man.
Yeah,
Please.
not the cherries, fam. I can't have you with the cherries and the shirt off and all that. I'm a loser. I'm a loser that night.
With the robe on. Come on, Usher, please. Not tonight. We playing around. You serenade
Like,
her. You singing to her. Oh my God, I can't do
yeah,
that. I can't do that.
no. Things gonna get serious real fast up in there for real. You know what I mean? I feel you on
I'll
that
probably go
though,
Breezy though.
Breezy.
I'll probably go Breezy because he's more my generation. Even though Usher's close to the generation, but I think I grew up more with Chris Brown.
Got you. Enough said. Okay, here we go. So, final one of the music. Okay, this is the nostalgia one. Which music concert would you rather go see? Would you rather go see Boys the Men or New Edition?
New edition.
Got you.
With
I
Bobby
got
Brown?
you. Yes, this with
Yeah.
Bobby Brown. All six of them.
Yes.
Okay, with you on that. I like that. Let's go back to sports.
Mm.
Which sport would you rather watch on TV? Would you rather watch hockey or baseball?
I actually enjoy watching both, especially during playoff time. I know I work in baseball. Maybe I'm baseballed out. I'd probably say I'd rather watch hockey.
No doubt, no doubt. I got with you on that. Now, let me ask you, which of these two sports, JR, would you rather play? Badminton or bowling?
Bowling.
Are you a good bowler?
I'm decent. I'm decent.
Hold on. Let me ask you, do you need the bumpers?
No. No, no bumpers. No, no, I do not need the bumpers, bro. No, no.
Oh, hey, fam, you would be
I think
surprised
it's
how
something
many people
bad.
on here need. You would
No,
be
sometimes
surprised.
they come out bowling and they pull up the bumpers. You're like, so you're not that good at bowling. Like, you want to
Fam,
play, you want to play pinball.
straight up. I
Yeah,
told them I told several people because several people have said this on my platform. They said they would pull out the bumpers. I said, okay, that's cool. We're gonna put your ass on the kitty lane because I can't have you on the same lane as me.
yeah.
You
You
can't
might
be
as well
on the
get
same
that
lane.
little slide thing they get for the kids where they just push the ball down, just directly in the middle. Like, might as
I
well just do
said
that.
that. I did. I said the same thing. Like we'll just roll the ball down, and you can play Wii bowling on the other lane. That's it.
Right, right.
I'm with you on
100%.
that. Okay, all right, all right. We might have to test that out because
Yeah,
I bowl a little bit too. By the way, you know what I'm
let's do
saying?
it. Let's do it.
Hey, you know what I mean? All right, I'm with you on that. Do you like desserts?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm gonna name 4 categories of desserts. You have to choose one of these categories to get rid of that you would never eat again. Okay, so here we go. Let's rock.
Hmm.
First category is going to be ice cream. The next category is going to be cookies. The third category is grouped together. So there's cakes slash pies.
Hmm.
The last category is candy. Which one are you getting rid of?
I can't lie. I'm not coming off that candy, so that candy's sticking around. Can't lie.
Okay.
I have a bad sweet tooth. Um, I guess it just be candy and ice cream is sticking around. Honestly,
Well, which one would you get rid of?
probably cookies.
Okay. Okay. Now, let me ask you, what is your favorite ice cream flavor?
Uh, Cake batter. Any cake batter flavors like those birthday cake flavors are probably my favorite.
Wow. Okay. A little
And,
different. I like that though.
but I will say I think the best way to eat ice cream is with a warm piece of apple pie vanilla.
Oh, for sure.
Like if
Say
they made
less.
like a apple pie flavored ice cream, I'm good with that.
Oh, that's perfect. No question. I'm with you on that. Okay. Do you like potato chips?
Yes.
Okay. So, same format. I'm going to name 4 brands. You got to choose one of these brands to get rid of. So, here we go. The first brand is going to be Pringles. The next brand is going to be Doritos.
Mm,
The third brand is going to be Ruffles. The
mm.
last brand is Lay's. Which one are you getting rid of?
Pringles.
Okay. All right.
Pringles
I can
hands
rock
down.
with that.
That's easy.
Now, JR, if we walked into a store and I said, my man, go to the chip aisle and buy your favorite chip that you want to eat, your favorite chip you want to eat, what chip would you buy?
I'm either grabbing the lime hot Cheetos or I'm probably grabbing like a kettle cooked like them kettle cooked salt and vinegar chips.
Oh my gosh. Bro, what the hell? What the hell is with you and salt and vinegar? What is going on?
I don't know, bro. I like acidity. I'm in like my favorite candy is sour candy. Like I love lemon heads, sour power, sour Skittles. I don't know.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. Because first of all, I do like Sour Patch Kids. I like certain sour candies. I rock with you on that. But I'm gonna give you this. So the 3 worst chips ever made. Number 3 is kettle chips. Number 3 is kettle chips.
They
Any
healthier
kettle
for you.
chip. You said what?
They healthier for you. They're not
I
fried.
know. I know that's probably why they bad. But let me tell you why. They're 3. I had a burger. I walked into a tavern. This was back in Minnesota when I lived in Minnesota, man. I walked in there, had a burger. They said they had no fries or tater tots. They were gonna give me kettle chips.
Yeah.
So, mind you, I never had kettle chips to that point. Never tried it. I tried them. I almost spit the shit out because it was that bad. I didn't. I was in public and I was actually on. It was like a get together with somebody. I was like, okay, you know what, man? It's 5 of us here. I ain't trying to be embarrassing like that. So I took it like a champ. But I said no more kettle chips at that. Now the
Hmm.
second worst chip is salt and vinegar. I can only eat 3 at max. 3 salt and vinegar chips before my mouth start burning. That's it. I cannot eat no more. My mouth will start burning after that. After that, I'm done. I tap out. That's it. No more salt and vinegar chips for me. Now, you're probably saying, what's the worst chip ever in Chris's mind? I'll tell you that. I'm glad you said that. Okay. The worst chip ever is Funyuns. Whoever in their life made Funyuns need to be slapped with the white and the black side of my hand. I mean, smacked hard. Okay, and we need to be able to
I'm
just
with
knock
you.
off. You said
You
what?
ain't gonna like this, Chris. I like Funyuns. Funyuns is good.
Oh my gosh,
Funyuns is
Lord
fire,
Jr.
bro. Yo, Funyuns are good, bro. I can't lie to you. Like, can't really get down with that take. Like, I'm, I'm gonna eat some Funyuns, bro. I am.
Listen, well, at least we got wings, Jr. We can go and eat some wings, but we damn sure can't eat no
Nah, we
chips.
definitely not grabbing that same bag of chips.
No, we not. Which is
But I
good
like
though, because
all
that
three
means
of your
it's
bad,
more.
all your bad picks. I like all three.
Oh, see, that means I'm gonna leave them on the shelf for you,
Yeah,
and then you can leave my favorite on the shelf, which is Ruffles barbecue, and Ruffles sour cream and cheddar. Either one of those.
This is crazy. I mean, I think one of the best flavors of chips too is like dill pickle chips. Um,
Oh, no, no.
I like the sweet chili Doritos. Those is crazy to me.
Those are good. Those are good. I'm with
Um,
you on that.
you know, there's some flavors out there, man. Like, like I'm big sunflower seeds guy. Like I like to buy two sunflower seeds at the same time
Yeah.
and mix them together. Like I'll take half the bag out, pour some in a cup, take another half the bag out, pour in a cup, then take that half, put it in one bag, then take the other half, put it in the other bag, then shake them, and then it's like a variety. So like,
That
I like
that
to get
is a
like one of my favorite
process.
combinations is like I'll get like these
Yeah.
buffalo flavor Davids,
Yeah.
and I'll put like some I'll put some ranch seeds in here, and it's like buffalo wing flavored seeds, and then like one of my favorite ones is I'll do cracked black pepper with the pickle flavor, mix those together. Those go crazy. Pickle with the black cracked pepper. And then if I'm getting really freaky, I'll go black cracked pepper, pickle, ranch, mix them all together. Insane.
Well, at least we agree on some. You definitely on some crack. That's for sure. There's no question about that. That
Yeah,
is a
bro.
process they are. No question. Of mixing
Listen,
all three of those.
if we're doing like a long road trip, like I have a few bags of seeds.
That I feel. I do like sunflower seeds. I do like sunflower seeds though. So we definitely like the same kind of foods. We just differentiate on the flavors. That's all that is. That's all that is. Okay, I'm with you on that. I can rock with that. You did pretty good on this or that though. You were very decisive on what you like, so I appreciate that for sure. Now, this next question is called bucket list. I want you to kind of speak this into fruition a little bit. And that is give me a top 4 list of things that you would like to do in your career that you haven't done yet.
Um, I want to be featured on either Fox or ESPN for something,
Okay.
whether
Mm.
it be like some work I did with an athlete, narration, some sort of production.
Okay.
Um, I want my career to take me out the country. Like I want, like if there's a NFL or basketball or baseball game in another country, I want to be flown there to cover it. I want my career to have
Mm.
taken me overseas to cover a sporting event.
No
Um,
doubt.
I want to at some point be considered one of the top minds like in my field collectively. Like I know it's all subjective, but when they name like the top 10 names in sports media, like I hope one day like my name is in that mix.
That's
Um,
definitely one of my goals too. No question.
and like I want to be that type at that type level. And then I probably say the last thing is like, um, you know, I probably say like, my dream would be able to I would love to run, a digital marketing department or player personnel for a professional organization or large media company. Like if it wasn't like running digital media for a large media company or running player personnel for a company. Like there's a part of me that sometimes like maybe I might want to be a GM when I turn 50, who knows? Turn
Okay.
35. You never know.
Yeah, no, I rock that. I rock with that for sure. No doubt. Those are great goals. And mind you, I think you'll be amazing in either all or even one of those goals. If you settle just one of those things, you'll be great. There's no question about that. No doubt. I want to ask you about advice again because you talked about giving advice, but what is some advice that someone has gave you, JR, that you hold on dearly to?
Um I've been told a lot in my career. Um, I think
Mm,
I think the best piece of advice that I got was, and I and this probably doesn't sound like the craziest advice, but like one of the best pieces of advice I got was like to be a sponge. You know, um, pretty much the advice was be a sponge and relinquish your ego. And I think what was meant by that was just like have a willingness to absorb and learn as much as possible. You know, be observant. Don't always be, have a great personality, but don't always be the loudest in the room. Absorb the
sure,
information from those who know more than you, especially in
sure,
the space you're trying to progress in. And then relinquish your ego is like, don't specialize yourself in something because you think this is where you're supposed to be. If an opportunity arises and it makes sense, kind of like see that through. You never know where opportunity leads because you know what they say. I just think when hard work meets preparation, that's when you land on opportunity. You know.
no doubt, no doubt. No, great advice, absolutely great advice. I want to get you out of here on some rapid fire,
Okay, let's go.
which is a little different from this or that. Okay, so basically, it's just first thing that comes to your mind. So here we go. All right, pancakes or waffles,
Pancakes,
juice or soda,
juice,
chicken or ribs,
chicken,
favorite color,
green.
favorite Netflix TV show or television show on television.
Uh, um, anything Game of Thrones.
That's a dope ass show, no question. Okay, favorite alcoholic drink.
Tequila.
Hold on now. You gotta hold on. You gotta make
Oh,
sure
like
you
actual
you know
drink.
spe-
Oh, like
yeah,
the actual
specify that because there's tequila out there,
drink.
but there's some cheap ass tequila too.
La Grintona tequila, made by three lovely Latino women. Women-owned tequila brand, no additives. Probably the best tequila on the market. And if I were to drink that tequila, I would love to drink it as a Paloma.
Okay, you need to give me some of that. Whatever that is. I need to have some of that dog because 1842 is what I sip on. That's what I sip on.
Nah, I gotta put the
So
Kylie Jenner juice down.
okay. You know what? We gonna table that conversation a little bit for later.
Put it in the
We're gonna
press
do
box.
that. Yes, that's press box talk,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah.
Okay, here we go. All right. If you had a choice to listen to three songs or three artists on repeat and never get tired of them, what three songs or three artists would you choose to listen to?
I'm gonna go artist. Drake.
Hmm.
Go Drake. Um, Probably Kanye West,
Okay, easy.
and then SZA.
Yeah, that's the future wifey right there, boy. She just don't know it. She just don't know it.
I'm
That's
just
all.
saying.
It's okay. It's okay. He said, oh, damn, JR, thanks. Well, that's okay. That's all right. It's all good, baby. I love it. All right. If you had a choice to choose three people to come with you on vacation, okay, three plus one, total of four,
Mhm.
what are the three people that you would choose and where would you go? Now, before you choose these three people, you could choose family, friends, or celebrities, or a combination of all three.
I'll probably go all family members.
Okay.
I'd probably go with my mom.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like my mom just did. She's done a lot for me in my life. Like I would not be anywhere without like the sacrifices my mom's made for me. Like
No
period.
question.
Like
Same
just
here. Same here.
um. And then I'd probably take my grandparents somewhere. Like that's probably my three. My mom, my grandparents. Like without like
Okay.
they were like I grew up with like three parents for real. You know,
Hmm.
like and they allotted me with everything. Like, like they made sure I was in everything. Like I was in junior Broadway. I was a tap dancer. I ran track. I played t-ball. Like
Wow.
I've been all over Europe. Like, you know, my mom, my grandparents really did wanted me to be as multifaceted as possible, and I would just love to return that favor to them.
Okay. Now, where would you go?
I would take them to Japan because they know like I am. That is like my dream is to like spend like I would spend a month in Japan. Like my dream would just spend a whole month in Japan.
I love that. I love that. Favorite board game?
Mm, does Connect Four count?
Well, sort of, yeah. I used to have game nights back in Atlanta, Georgia, man. I would invite people over. I had, the PlayStation out, the Xbox
Yeah.
out, but I also had different board
Well,
games and card games.
actually, if we're talking, well, this game does have a board. Mario Party is my favorite board game because it literally is played on a board. It's just a video game.
Okay, okay. Well, yeah, Mario Party is pretty dope. I love me some Mario Party. I used to be a beast in that for sure, no question.
Probably
Okay,
why Mario Party is my favorite board game because it is played on a board.
okay. Favorite card game?
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, look, bro, I'll show you right now.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever got something like this on your pod before, but if anybody plays Yu-Gi-Oh, your boy's running Prank Kids, so holler at me.
Wow. No, you are definitely the first.
Yeah.
But I don't think you'll be the last. But you're definitely the first. No question. No question, baby.
Remember that.
Okay, I'm with you on that. Yu-Gi-Oh. Favorite sandwich?
Probably like a Reuben.
Reuben. Okay, I like that. I like that. Now, I gotta ask you this: with you being the Knicks guy, okay? Uh, are we taking Jalen Brunson or are we taking Walt Clyde Frazier?
I'm taking Jalen Brunson. It's my goal.
Okay. Are we taking Jalen Brunson or are we taking John Starks?
Jalen Brunson.
Are we taking Jalen Brunson or
Yes,
Patrick Ewing?
over everybody. He's the greatest Nick ever.
Greatest Nick ever.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Carmelo, Walt, Bernard King.
I was gonna ask Bernard King next.
I have respect. I have high respect for all those guys. All those guys.
Hmm.
Jalen Brunson.
What is JR's dream job and dream event that he would like to cover? If he can cover a dream event, and it could be anyone, what would you like to cover or do in your career?
Dream career would be being the general manager of the New York Jets and leading them to a Super Bowl. And then I'd probably say, um, or being an anchor on ESPN. Um, and then I'd probably say dream thing to cover would be honestly the Super Bowl. Nothing bigger than that to me.
Oh my goodness. You would have a lot of fun.
Sporting event wise, probably nothing bigger than that to me.
You would have a lot of fun. No question about that. It was truly, truly a blessing and a great experience. I only hope I can go to Inglewood.
I did cover the Pro Bowl last year, which was really neat.
Yeah,
That was an awesome experience. So I'm almost there. One more
you
event.
are. Yes. No question. No question about that. I feel that. I like that. I rock on. I want to ask you this final rapid fire question, and that is if you can do a job, and I asked you about dream job, but you're a social media manager right now for the Red Wings.
Mhm.
If there was one other job in that organization that you would want to do or shadow, what job would that be and why?
um, I probably just want to shadow like Dan Mason.
Hmm.
Just what it was like to be the GM. All eyes
Hmm.
on you today.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you
Do
been
you
appreciated.
miss playing Do you miss playing football, bro?
Um, sometimes yeah, but
Yeah.
but I don't like lose sleep over it, and like I don't have like a bunch of like a bunch of guilt and stuff. Like I ain't going through that. I just love the game. Like I love the game of football, but
Yeah, yeah.
I
No,
don't like getting
I
tapped
want to.
more.
Yeah, yeah. No, no. Absolutely. I want to ask: was it a hard decision, or did you come to peace with that decision, knowing that you know what, my playing days may be over?
Um, I think I came to peace with it. I think later on, as I was navigating my sports media career, that I start to like rethink about football because I
Hmm.
realized like the hard days of what I was doing, and sometimes like I just rather play football than be doing all of this. But it wasn't because like I miss football. I think I just sometimes I think realizing like this wall I was scaling sometimes felt almost insurmountable.
Right.
And so I think sometimes I would, again, comfort, we talked about it, earlier, like that comfort of just knowing how to play football and doing this is like, this is what I should have been doing. But realistically, not enough.
My last question. I know I said that, but I lied. I want to ask this last question because you play multiple spots.
Mm.
Which was your favorite of the four that I'm going to mention? Corner, safety, linebacker, or receiver? Because you also play receiver as well.
Um, it's funny because at Tennessee State, I didn't play like really linebacker, but I did play like a one game. I played like a strong, like roll down, like not really like an in the box safety, but I was closer to the
Mhm.
ball for this game, and I had one of like my best statistic games of my college career. I had like 9 tackles, I had a forced fumble recovery, returned it for a touchdown. But I was playing DB, but I was just closer to the ball this game. It's just the game plan of this team we were playing. Obviously, I'm 6'3", playing weight like 6'3", 200 pounds. So, I had a lot of versatility at my position because based off my size. But I think, nothing was more electric than like I'm not gonna lie, like I love playing corner, loved it with all my heart, but I'll never not like love scoring touchdowns. Like when I was in high school scoring touchdowns, like that's what I love. Like, I played corner because I was good at it and I love the position, don't get me wrong. Like I love the position, but
For
ain't nothing
sure.
like scoring on somebody, man. Like ain't nothing like it.
Listen, I was not the athlete you was in high school. I was on the line. I was a defensive end. I tried to get after the quarterback because I like hitting people. I didn't like getting hit. I
Mm,
played basketball more than I played football.
right.
But I was an undersized kind of forward because obviously I'm on my tippy toes and in boots. I'm not even 6 feet. So um, I was around 5'10". So and I love the sport, but I admire people that play the sport, that play it well. They get to go off to a Division I school and earn a scholarship playing the sport that they love to play. And this has been a really, really dope podcast conversation, man, with you. Just talking about your why, man. Talking about who you are, what you do, what you're about, how you represent yourself, your playing career when it came to an end, but then you transition it, man. I mean, it's rare that I get to talk to people on here that's traveled the world as much as you have and has the many jobs that you've had and experienced the many things that you've had. I mean, it's no question. Your character is high. I'm a fan of yours, bro. I'm a supporter of yours. And obviously I get to see you all the time in the press box do what you love to do. Um, what I want to tell you is I want to say thank you again, JR, for coming on my podcast. And last question, brother, is there anything else you would like to add about your job, the Red Wings, or anything at all before we conclude?
Um, I just want to say, if there's anybody, and I'm definitely probably speaking more to, my black and brown sisters that are in these spaces and trying to navigate these spaces. Don't be intimidated. Believe in yourself. I think in a world where, there's not a lot of us in these spaces, it is
Mm.
important to have the utmost confidence in yourself. Maintain your self esteem. Do not let anybody deter you or make you feel like you do not belong because you very much so belong. If you
Without
believe
question.
in the work that you've put in and you know you've put in that work, there's no way to feel like, people can shut the door on you. Be undeniable, be proud of who you are, and, attack every aspect of your career of what you want it to be. And, screw code switching. Be yourself. Don't don't fall into a bubble of what they deem you as, because if you look at some of the most successful people in this world, in every facet, in corporate America, in media, entertainment, sports, medicine, in all these different worlds, the people at the peak, they also didn't do everything by doing it all by the book. Excuse me. Like, not everybody did it by the book. A lot of them are
Right.
unique, have different personalities. There was something about them that made them stand out. And, whatever makes you stand out, don't try to fit in, fit out. Be the best version of yourself. And, you know, There's the light at the end of that tunnel. Do not run from your greatness. Just run towards it.
Love it. I do. Quickly adding on before we get off here. Listen, we're in the press box, guys. JR and myself, press box of this AAA team of the Rochester Red Wings. And I'm telling you, there's not a whole lot of us that is in there. There's at least 25 to 30 people, if not even more, in different rooms of a combined total in that press box doing all different kind of communicative type of things. There's not a lot of brown and black people in that room. And he's absolutely right. Don't run from greatness, run towards it. Continue to work hard, fit out. Don't worry about fitting in. If it's something that you want to do, don't be hesitant. Just go and do it. So no doubt about it. Again, my man, it was a pleasure having you on. You enjoy your Monday evening and the rest of the week, and you and I will most certainly be in touch.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Chris. Have a good night, buddy.
You too, man. Peace.